But
But
what do you do different in those scenarios? You think that most people don't do, or the mistakes people make when they're trying to call in a buck with a rattle bag or rattle antlers?
most people are too aggressive. They try. A lot of hunters watch TV and they assume that if they replicate what they see on TV, it's going to work where they hunt. And if they hunt in a pressured area, watching TV is a waste of time because their deer are totally different. That's like I said, it's like hunting in a zoo. They raise their deer. They don't shoot at them until they're 4 or 5.5 years old. They're, so those deer smell that human activity, human odor when they're hunting, when the guys are hunting, and it doesn't bother them. That's why you see when they do hit the kill criteria, they come out into these wide open fields in 2 hours before dark and they shoot them on TV. That doesn't work in pressured areas. So when you're in a pressured area, you can't do aggressive rattling because typically, if you're in a heavily pressured area, there's very few big bucks. So you're not going to have those big monster clashing like you see on TV. And when you just spar, I use a rattle bag. I used to use antlers. I didn't like them. I just didn't. They're just cumbersome and they move around. And rattle bag is super simple and it's worked phenomenally well for me with wooden sticks. I'd never use plastic bag. But anyway, I just take the bag, separate the sticks, and just clash them together, kind of mildly, not aggressive, hard, and then I just twist them. Most guys that have hunted any period of time, they've probably heard bucks sparring. I'm sure you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make the same kind of sounds as they do when they're in an all-out brawl for breeding rights. It's subtle. They're just pushing their antlers together, twisting them around a little bit till they kind of mesh up, and then they push each other for dominance. And then maybe every 10 or 15 seconds, they'll break up and then they'll do it again. They put their heads together. So you're just making subtle sparring sounds, maybe for 10 or 15 seconds, and then 20 seconds of silence. And then do this sequence again. And do that maybe 3 times. So it may take a minute and a half to do that entire sequence. And then put them down. Put them down. So you're not being totally aggressive. And you want to do it mornings. Have definitely been my best times, about 45 minutes after daybreak. And you have to be in an area with adequate security cover and transition security cover to a known bedding area. So my favorite place to do it is along the edge of a cornfield, a standing cornfield while it's standing. So let's say I'm out postseason scouting, okay, and I find some scrapes along an edge of a crop field.